So, today I want to speak to you about one of the most common health conditions that I believe in every family. There is just somebody with that condition, and that is the issue of ulcers, stomach ulcers, peptic ulcers, gastric ulcers, whatever you call them. And I honestly believe that even as we talk now, you are either the victim or you are the caregiver, because it's so serious that every family, there's somebody who has ulcers. Now, I'll begin by asking you a question. Did you know that ulcers is not caused by acid? Did you? Yes, you had me right. Ulcers is not caused by acid. No, it's not. Let me tell you, acid is not your enemy. One of the biggest blessings that God has created in your stomach is what we call the acid. And ask me why. That acid in your stomach helps you in the digestion of food. It also helps to kill the bacteria, the harmful bacteria that could have come along with the food. So is that an enemy or it's actually your blessing? I think it's your blessing, right? So if the acid is not the problem, what then causes ulcers? What is this thing that, makes people go round? Otherwise, I know some people have hated acid till they wish they had no acid in them. Let me help you to understand how your stomach works, and then we'll talk about this acid issue later. Your stomach is built to digest food, right? And it has no hard stuff. There are no metals. There are no mortar and pestle. It's just that soft tissue, but yet it has to break down hard food substances into very soft ones, which can be absorbed into the bloodstream. So it is the acid and the digestive juices. So in other words, your stomach produces digestive juices plus acid. And these are the two things that break down the food. They burn the food. Now I am using another word to help you, kind of relate. Now, in order to protect the stomach wall, because as this acid, as this digestive juice is burning the food, the stomach is supposed to be protected. And there is something in your stomach on the wall called the gastrointestinal mucosa. In other words, the mucus layer that is supposed to protect your stomach lining. Now, this mucus layer, unfortunately, the moment it gets damaged, it exposes your stomach wall. So your stomach wall is bare, and when the acid comes to burn the food, it burns the stomach as well, and it hurts you. So, and I think you're now getting the problem, the issue, right? So the issue is not the acid which is burning. The issue is the mucus layer that was supposed to protect your stomach has been damaged. So what damages the mucus layer? That is the enemy we should talk about. The number one cause of trouble in our stomachs today, and this is documented and is well known scientifically, there is an infection called the H. pylori. That's a bacteria that many of you, when you go to the hospital, the doctor says, go and do, give me your stool, or maybe they pick a blood sample. They test the H. pylori. Now, that bacteria is one of the most dangerous ones because it's very, very stubborn, and many people are infected by the H. pylori. That bacteria damages, as it is digging through to go and hook itself somewhere, it damages your gastrointestinal mucosa tissue, and it ends up causing you trouble. The second thing is toxins. Toxins from the food you eat, those chemicals, those unwanted substances that have been added to the food, maybe from the gardens, those things that are sprayed on the vegetables and fruits, insecticides, pesticides, and then some people take a lot of alcohol, alcohol and carbonated drinks, and those particular drinks that you take that are corrosive in nature, they also damage the mucus lining. That's why you find very many people who take alcohol suffer from ulcers. Now, there is another issue of painkillers. Many of you can remember the last painkiller the doctor prescribed for you. So every time you get a headache, you just go to the pharmacy and you say, "Oh, give me that thing," and you take it. As a result of overuse of painkillers, especially NSAIDs, non-steroid and non-inflammatory drugs, as a result of constant use of those drugs have damaged so many people's mucus layer that the stomach is completely naked. The other thing is stress, and of course, the poor eating habits. You eat and drink at the same time. You're eating something hot and then you take in something cold at the same time, and you cause fermentation of food in your stomach. The moment food ferments in the stomach, the bacteria come. Bacteria loves to stay in an environment where there is some rotten stuff. Some of you have not gone to the toilet in the past 3, 4, 5 days. So there is so much rotten stuff in your stomach that aids the bacteria, that allows the bacteria to multiply. I'm talking about the H. pylori bacteria. Think about it in this way. You see, it's not the rain that damages the roof. No, it is the holes in the roof. It's the coating of the roof. It is the weak roof that brings a problem to your house. You see, every time when you're building a house, you're aware that rain will come. Rain is inevitable. It will come anyway. So the same thing, acid is inevitable. Acid is like rain. It will come whether you're prepared or not. Your stomach will produce the acid. The issue is, how strong is your roof? How strong is your protection so that the acid does not penetrate through to go and affect the stomach lining? So there are 3 things that you need to take care of, and I want you to be very, very intentional about this. Number 1, the protection. We've talked about the mucus layer. You need to make sure that you have the mucus layer. If it has been damaged, we need to talk about how to replace it, and I'll give you a solution just in a second. The other thing is regeneration. Those damaged cells need to be regenerated, and many people, their stomach walls have lost the ability to regenerate themselves. Or when they heal the wound, the scar tissue forms. And when there is a scar tissue that is formed in your stomach, that acid can easily break through and again cause another wound, because a scar is easier to burn than the normal layer. So we'll also talk about what to do so that you don't have the scars in your stomach. And then the last thing is the environment. You need to clean the stomach. You need to create an environment where the H. pylori does not thrive. And that's where I introduce to you the regenerative package, the regenerative medicine. This is where this regenerative medicine becomes the ultimate solution. Ask me why. You see, when we talk about regenerative medicine, we are looking at something that treats from the cause, not just masking the symptoms, not just taking a painkiller, but you treat the problem right from the cause. So that's where you find this GI VitaSoft gel. This is not a painkiller. It's not an antacid. It is actually a regenerative substance. It is a cellular repairer. Okay, so when you take the GI, it goes and first of all, it repairs the mucus layer that had been damaged in your stomach. Secondly, it also regenerates the functional cells of the digestive system. You know, the sphincter muscles, the cells that produce the enzymes, all the digestive functional cells in your GIT, in your gastrointestinal system. This GI has the ability to regenerate them. The third thing it does is that it also creates an environment where the H. pylori cannot thrive. It cannot survive. You'll find it in the toilet. That's why if you take this and you had H. pylori, 1 month later, when you go to test in the lab, they will tell you you are negative. In other words, they can't see the H. pylori. Why? Because it will run away. It will go to the toilet because it cannot survive in an environment which has been regenerated, and now it's natural and supportive of your digestive function. Okay? Now, the other thing I love about this is that it's able to heal the ulcer without leaving a scar. And that I was so excited when I saw in the research. You take, if you do like endoscopy and you look at somebody before using this GI and after using this GI, the wound clearly heals and you'll not see any scar. It's a very, very good product. Now, in order to support the GI so that the healing is faster and deeper, I always recommend that you get the peptide. Peptide is protein, and you know proteins are bodybuilding. Protein is bodybuilding, right? So this is basically digested protein, which is ready amino acids, which will help to this is the building block of the cells. So as you're regenerating the cells, you give it the nutrients, you give it the building block so that the cells that are coming back are original, they are energetic, and they are able to perform their function. That's a micromolecule peptide. And then there is also something called the propolis lecithin. Propolis is known as a natural antibiotic. So it has antibiotic properties and it also has anti-inflammatory properties. And then the other thing that I would recommend that you do is, depending on your finances, you can either do the Wu-Ching detox or you can do the Kuding tea. I'll tell you the difference. This detox pack is a cellular detox pack. In other words, it detoxifies the whole body, not only your stomach, the liver, the kidney, the lungs, the spleen, the heart, every part of your body. It detoxifies every part of your body at cellular level. So when you take this, you're not only cleaning the stomach, but you're also cleaning the rest of the internal organs. If you cannot get this, then at least get the Kuding tea. Okay, this will also help you to clean the stomach and remove that, you know, that dirt that has accumulated in your stomach for a very long time. You could also do the spirulina, green spirulina. This one speeds up the healing process and therefore you heal very quickly. There are about 4 products that you can have. That's what we call the regenerative package. This one, you're sure that the entire digestive system is going to go back to its normal functions. Okay, so that's the package. Now let me warn you about something. You see, there's a tendency of people getting comfortable with ulcers and they say, oh my ulcers, oh my ulcers, and somehow they feel so comfortable talking about their ulcers and they own it and they get used to it. Let me tell you, when ignored and if it is not treated, ulcers can cause a very, very big problem for you. There is a complication, one of the most common complications, called perforation. Perforation means the ulcer digs deep into the stomach wall until it penetrates through the other side. That's perforation. And that way you start bleeding, and then the blood goes and infects the internal organs. And then for many people, if you don't get surgery immediately, you might end up getting an infection, blood infection, or any other infection, and you'll die. Many people have died as a result of perforation. And now, these days, the biggest and most dangerous is stomach cancer. It's on the rise, and so many people now are getting stomach cancer. Why? When you look at most people that are getting stomach cancer, most of them have history of the H. pylori. They have history of ulcers. So don't get used to having ulcers with you. Look at how you can treat and eliminate those wounds in your stomach as quickly as possible. The good news is that your stomach can heal itself, okay? You just need to support it. These are not products that you have to use and depend on them. You use them for 2 to 3 months, or sometimes even 1 month is enough, depending on the extent of the damage on your stomach wall, okay? So, once again, don't fear the acid. Don't wish you had no acid. Acid is not your enemy. The enemy is the damage that is caused on your mucus layer. The moment your stomach is bare, there you're sure you'll have chronic, non-healing, and recurring ulcers. So, go and protect your stomach. Go and regenerate your stomach, and you'll come back to me with a testimony, okay? I hope now today you have gotten an idea of how you can improve your health and how you can improve the health of your loved ones. I hope to hear from you very soon.